What's up guys, it's Kristen from Anime Collective. So the recent reads part of this video is going to be shorter and sweeter than most because not a whole lot of new series that I was personally wanting to get into came out this month. With that said, I was still able to get into my most anticipated manga of the entire year, Die Dark, this month, as well as a few others. I'm also currently in the midst of packing up my apartment, which is really exciting. I'm moving to a new place. With that said, don't worry guys, I'm still going to be bringing you a lot of new content within the next few weeks, including 2 new statue unboxings. I also recently had my RightStuf Yen Press sale come in, so I decided to tack that on to the end of the video so you guys can see what I'm reading in the future. Anywho, let's get into it. Here's all the manga I picked up and enjoyed in the month of May. So first up is Die Dark, which released at the end of last month and is the latest series from Kyu Hayashida, who you may know as the creator of one of my favorites, Dorohedoro. I was so anxious to get this one because it is one of my most anticipated new manga series releasing in 2021. After reading Volume 1, I'm so happy that this one turned out to be just as good as I thought it was going to. I'm a huge fan of dark humor, and this is something I've grown to love about her work, and Die Dark had me laughing more times than most. I especially laughed when Sanko accidentally named himself Meatball Spaghetti. Her art style is as gory and gritty and incredible as ever, and I enjoyed witnessing the panels in this new series. She's one of my all-time favorite artists, but her character and world building are top-notch as well. I really love the characters and the world she creates, and that's no exception here. You have Sanko, who's being sought after by anyone and everyone for his bones, which are said to grant you any wish. He's in search of the man who grants this wish and hopes that if he kills him, he will finally be granted his freedom. In a lot of ways, he's similar to Kaiman in the way that he's searching for the person who did this to him, and of course, along the way, there's a lot of fun and carnage that ensues. There's also Avakian, his package of darkness, which you'll learn about in the first volume, who's also his companion, and I absolutely love him. He cracks me up, and he provides a lot of comedic relief in the volume. I really enjoy his interactions with Sanko and their relationship, and after only reading 1 volume, I was emotionally invested in and connected to these two. Even though it's early on, I'm already wanting to see an anime adaptation of this one, and that's a true testament to just how good this manga is. I'd also really love to see this futuristic sci-fi world come to life and see these two in action on screen. For those reasons and more, this is one of my favorite new manga series to come out so far in 2021. I highly recommend this one and can't wait to pick up Volume 2. Another series I got into is Trojan X, the new series by Sui Ishida, the creator of Tokyo Ghoul. It surprise launched on Viz's site in the Shonen Jump app this month, but was teased back in November by Sui Ishida himself on Twitter, and also Sui Ishida stated that new chapters are going to be released of this one according to his own schedule. I feel like this one is going to have an uphill battle somewhat because many people are going to compare it to Tokyo Ghoul. I'm personally going to let it stand on its own though, even though Tokyo Ghoul is a favorite of mine, just because I personally think that comparing a creator's work to their others while reading prevents me personally from enjoying the series and seeing it for its own strengths. I've only read the first chapter of this one, which is 82 pages long, but is one of the new releases I'm most excited about this month. Trojan X follows main character Tokyo Kuyahara, who is a 16-year-old high school student that idolizes his childhood friend Azuma, who is really good at fighting and goes out doing these vigilante-like acts in his free time. And Tokyo, of course, tags along with him. In this world, Trojan exists. Not much has been explained about these individuals and how they've come to be, but they have powers and are superhuman. Many Trojan use their powers to do evil things, but as the tagline for this series says, sometimes to fight a monster, you must become one. I can see where this is going and I'm all for it. After seeing where this one left off, it left me wanting more, and that's a good indication that this one has me hooked. I'll admit that when I read the first few pages, I was confused on where this one was going with that intro of Farm Girl talking to an older lady about her tomatoes, but it very quickly went in a darker direction, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this one develops. The next one I got into is Dai Katana, the newest Goblin Slayer side story, and from what I've read, this is the backstory of the Sword Maiden. This is the first time I've read anything from the series, and honestly what got me to pick this one up was the front cover. I'm simple sometimes. I saw it sitting on the shelf, thought it looked cool, and decided to give it a shot. It looked right up my alley, and I've heard a lot of great things about Goblin Slayer in general, and after reading this one, I decided to pick up all of Goblin Slayer's manga, including all of the side stories on RightStuf. So I'm going to go back to square one and start reading the whole series. I don't want to make any quick judgments here because Dai Katana's first volume is meant to be a setup to the story. Mainly what this first volume does is introduces you to the world that surrounds the dungeon and how the dungeon has attracted adventurers from all around. But it's also about our main party, who are growing their team to head into the dungeon. At the very end, they are about to enter the dungeon, so the action really has yet to kick in, but I know it's coming with a foreshadowing in the very beginning. So far, I really like the captain though. He has a noble heart and wants to bring good into the world, and these are characteristics that tend to really connect me with a character. Before I continue on with this one though, I'm going to read Goblin Slayer all the way through, but so far I like where the side story is headed. I'm excited to get into it and have been meaning to for quite some time. What are your guys' thoughts on all of the side stories that have been released so far? Would love to know which ones you think are the best. Up next is 86, so after reading the light novels, I've been meaning to check out the manga adaptation of 86 too. If you guys haven't checked out 86, I highly recommend doing so, especially if you're a mecha fan or someone who enjoys political and military themes. But even if you don't, the story of 86 is profound and worth checking out. An anime adaptation of 86 came out this spring, and aside from Tokyo Revengers Into Your Eternity, it is one of my favorites. Wanted to mention this because A1 Pictures have done an amazing job bringing this one to life in animation, and the sound and music is absolutely incredible. What about you guys? Which anime are you enjoying from the spring 2021 season? Would love to know if I'm missing out on something. Anywho, I've only read volume 1 of the manga so far, but it seems to be following the light novels pretty faithfully so far. I really enjoyed the artwork and love getting to experience 86 all over again in this new format. If you are wanting to get into 86 though, I would recommend checking out the light novels or the anime first, but the manga is a great addition. Those are the new series I got into in May, but I also had a decent sized haul come in from RightStuf from their Yen Press sale that I've been excited to get, and it finally arrived, so I wanted to show you guys what I picked up real quick. So first off, I picked up volumes 1 and 2 of 86, and this is one I'm going to continue picking up as it releases. I also picked up all of the Goblin Slayer manga volumes that have been released so far, and all of the side stories that have been released so far as well. Here's a quick look at all of the covers I've gotten so far. Some of the volumes are still on back order, so I don't have all of the volumes just yet, but this is one that has been on my list of wanting to read for quite some time, and I'm happy I'm finally getting around to it. I also completed Prison School. This is one of those manga I feel weird liking, but at the same time I can't help but like it. I find it to be hilarious, and after watching the anime, I decided to pick up the manga. I'm excited to pick up where the anime left off too and see what happens next. I wish they'd come out with a second season, but there's no telling if that will ever happen and if it does when, so I wanted to get all of these and complete the story. Next, I picked up all of the Fungo Stray Dogs volumes I was missing. I absolutely love Fungo, and it has some of my favorite characters. This is one I highly recommend if you haven't given it a shot yet. There's an anime that's amazing as well, but I enjoy reading this one also. I also picked up volumes 1 and 2 of Shibuya Goldfish. This one seems so bonkers, but in a way that it could actually work. I love when a manga series include horror elements throughout and blood and gore and all of that stuff, so this one seemed like one I would like. Also, the fact that it has man-eating goldfish in it, that definitely had me interested as well. When I've seen others talk about this one, they don't seem to be all that into it, but I wanted to make that decision for myself because it seems like one I'd enjoy. Anyone out there enjoy this one? Let me know in the comments. Erased is one of my favorite series, and I've been meaning to check out his other manga, For the Kid I Saw in My Dreams. I picked up volumes 1 and 2 of this one as well. If it's anything like Erased, this one is bound to be dark, but man, the way he develops a story and how he completes them is incredible, so I can't wait to read this one. And finally, this is probably the one I'm most excited about from this haul. I picked up volume 0 and 1 of Übel Blatt. This one definitely looks like it has everything I'm into, and I'm a huge fan of dark fantasies, with Berserk being my favorite of all time. Since then, I've been in search of one I haven't gotten into yet, and I found Übel Blatt. Once I moved into the new place, this is the first one I'm going to delve into. Also, if you guys have any good dark fantasy recommendations, I'd love to hear them. And there you have it, guys. There's everything I picked up and enjoyed in the month of May. Stay tuned to the channel because I have 2 new statue unboxings coming soon. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.